Hello, I'm Tracy Borman and I'm the author of The King's Witch historical novel trilogy, as well as numerous non-fiction history books. Well, my first novel, The King's Witch, is set in the early part of the reign of James I. So we're talking 1603, the end of the Tudors and the beginning of the Stuarts. And it focuses on a heroine named Frances Gorges, who was a real lady at court, and she is renowned for her skills as a healer, so her knowledge of plants and herbs. But that actually sets her in real danger now in the new reign, because James seems to think that if you're a healer, then you're also a witch, and he's determined to hunt down witches and eradicate them from the kingdom. So Frances from the beginning is in real danger, and she also becomes embroiled in a plot against the king, which has gone down in history as the gunpowder plot. So as far as my heroine is concerned, there is danger on all sides. The reason that I chose a woman as my central character for the book is because I wanted to convey just how dangerous a time it was to be a woman during the reign of James I. He was notoriously anti-women. He hunted down witches, and the vast majority of those accused of witchcraft were female. And so I really wanted to get this across, and also just the fact that women were very much second-class citizens in Stuart times. They were viewed as inferior in every single respect. They were denied all of the rights that men enjoyed. They were thought to be mentally inferior as well as physically inferior. And the whole witch hunts, really, what lay behind that was a fear and a hatred of women. So that's why I felt it was really important to make my heroine part of this, and to really draw readers into the horrors and the dangers that existed for women at this time. The gunpowder plot was one of the most fascinating areas of my research, and I did a lot of research for this. It helps that I work for historic royal palaces, and one of the palaces we care for is the Tower of London, where the gunpowder plotters were imprisoned and interrogated, and I was able to visit the very room where that happened. And during the course of my visit, I discovered evidence of an original wall painting that would have been there at the time, and it depicted scenes from hell with people being tortured by devils, and it was meant to instill fear in anyone who was interrogated in that room. So I definitely brought that to life in the novel. I think this period continues to fascinate people because it is one of the darkest and most turbulent periods in British history. The Tudors in particular are incredibly popular, and I think that is just due to the sheer drama. You have a king who marries 6 times, the Virgin Queen, it's the age of Shakespeare and Sir Walter Raleigh, and a very self-confident time. But then that all changes with the end of the Tudors, with the death of Elizabeth I in 1603, and the rise of the House of Stuart. And that's when all of the plotting, the conspiracies find full expression. The new king is very much disliked. He becomes increasingly hated. And it's a very dangerous time to live, whether you're an ordinary subject or a member of the royal court. So that's why I set the novel in this time. It's a period I've researched for my non-fiction work as well. And I really wanted to get across to readers just how turbulent and how perilous a time it really was. I'm very fortunate that, as well as being an author and historian, I work for historic royal palaces as chief curator. The palaces comprise such iconic sites as the Tower of London and my own particular favourite, Hampton Court. And really, my role is to help care for them, but also to tell their stories. I do lots of broadcasting at the palaces. I research for exhibitions. I write text for our website. So, in terms of a job for a historian, it really is a dream come true for me. What inspires me in one word? That's so hard to say. I think it would have to be discovery. And if I could just qualify that, I would say the potential for discovery, because things are being unearthed all the time in archives. And even where I work at historic royal palaces, we're rediscovering lost rooms in palaces and what they used to be used for. So that potential to make a new and exciting discovery, that's what excites me most.